on all heroes, what do you really do? So I expect Snow to come out strong and take this game probably. But if G2 can get an early advantage and they do have a nice draft here, we could see it go their way.
I love how we're all so varied in our opinions, ready to go. I mean, again, like, we should have made that caster pool ready to go, guys. But so, Rome, tell me a little bit about a Sky ban from Snow here first.
We've been seeing Sky played all day today, and tremendous play mechanical-wise throughout for every team that's represented her so far. Definitely, she's a hero that's very hard to deal with, like mechanical-wise, and being able to dive and prioritize executing her early in the team fight, it's actually very hard. She's able to kite very well, and she does massive damage. And objective-wise, she obliterates objectives.
And it is worth mentioning that this is, of course, 1.11. It is not the current patch. There's no Kestrel. Blackfeather is in, but we're still waiting for that day where you got picked up. But this is interesting for the second ban. G2 Kinguin actually is going to be taking out the Ringo. This leaves us with potential Koshkas.
Oh, most definitely. But having Ringo being taken out is like, I'm guessing they're going to try and secure a later scaling lane hero so that they're able to transition easy. They're able to farm that CS. So we're looking at a very slow-paced game, in my opinion.
All right, well, there's that superstar Arden once more. 100% win rate these days, guys? 100% pick rate at any rate.
Almost 100%.
Not 100% win rate, but definitely 100% pick rate so far. And we do see the Koshka and the Rona come out. So this is a pretty strong composition coming out of G2 Kinguin.
Now, coming over to EU, it was something like I said to the tune of, well, you don't put Koshka in lane. And then you guys immediately corrected me. It's like, well, that could happen this tournament in Rome. I think that actually might happen right here.
I'd have to probably correct you on that. I'm assuming this Rona is going to be up in lane. Rona is a beast in lane. If she's able to farm out really well, she actually has that really strong pressure into the mid game. Mm-hmm. And when she rotates, especially with her ability to actually jump into fights early, she actually makes that big of a difference.
Do you think that perhaps they're holding up for Fortress?
Fortress or Adagio? Probably Adagio.
Okay, now on the flip side, Snow, they're going to be coming in. Of course, they do have to put out double picks.
Oh,
is that a pedal?
Yes. That is a pedal, and pedal is amazing against Koshka. Her ability to kite and building her CP gives you that damage on the minions. So while she's kiting back, her minions are actually unleashing so much damage onto diving heroes like Koshka and Rona.
Wow. All right. So not only did we actually get one game of pedal last round in the NA finals, but now here in the EU as well, another pedal coming out. This is actually quite the array of heroes because we might not have seen Ataka, but already the variety is really coming out strong. And the last pickup is actually a Catherine, Mr. Zekant. Not that Fortress or the Adagio that we were looking for.
This is going to be a fairly interesting matchup because, one, the pedal is going to be so difficult for them to deal with. Rona and Koshka can both jump in, but the Seeds will just keep knocking them back over and over. And with the triple melee composition, Jewel is going to be able to land pokes with her Thunderstrike. Pedal will be able to kite forever. And this is going to be a tough matchup for Kinguin to take. I do feel that Snow did draft a little bit better than G2 did this time around.
Do you agree, Rome?
Well, the Catherine pick at the end was pretty much like a counter pick. Catherine being able to stun out Jewel out of her ult and being able to lock down Pedal before she's able to jump away. With her CC, she's able to pretty much silence out the entire team, making sure that they're not...
All right, so it looks like we are into the game. We do have G2 Kinguin ready on the fold, and Quinn, Dark Potato, and Dingo up against Kentix, Araxi, and Look at Me.
Yeah, let's get this going. It looks like we can get the Koshka in lane, as was mentioned by Forecourt Jester, so this will be an interesting matchup. What do you look to see, what do they need to do early to gain an advantage, either of these teams?
So I really like the Koshka in lane this time around. Even though Rona is a standard laner, it is actually a better choice to put Koshka here because Koshka will be able to dance around those Thunder Strikes coming out from Jewel. And with her extra crystal damage compared to Rona, she will actually be able to trade against Jewel very, very effectively.
Right, she has huge mobility and she will try to abuse that advantage as much as she can. Both teams actually coming down to the shop at the same time. Petal got those minions forward, doing a little bit of damage, and moving back. It's the kiting. When you see a Petal in game, she wants to kite constantly. And so you have the Arden forward right now. The Catherine is just trying to frontline for Dark Potato, and neither really getting a solid advantage. I guess maybe it's going to be these guys over here in Snow that are going to be pushing G2 out of their own jungle right away. Petal is going to be loving this. She puts down some more seeds, jumping forward. That trampoline so strong right now in this patch. And, Catherine moving forward. The stun. Arden comes over with the Vanguard. And are we going to see First Blood? No. Catherine making it back. Dark Potato in a bad position. Into the fray, just out. And maybe they will live through. Whoa, the last shot. No, this is crazy. These guys are just pushing it to the edge. I mean, maybe just trying to buy some time. They know
Oh,
they're not going
no.
to get it. Yeah, first blood is going to go the way of Snow.
All right, I felt like that was a little bit too greedy coming out from G2. They definitely could have just backed off and played it safe, but instead they were trying to contest against a Petal and an Arden. And with a Rona and a Catherine, I don't really think you can even take that fight. And right now, Dingo in lane getting extremely low, but he'll just dash back and he'll be just fine.
Yeah, that'll mean that he has to play safe for a little bit here in lane, but he should be okay. Just make sure that he does dodge those Thunder Strikes coming out. You see Dark Potato moving into lane with Quinn. Dark Potato's there, getting some good damage, and well, this could be the first kill going for G2. And so 1-1 here at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They're on the board.
Most certainly, and Dark Potato right now with the double weapon blades is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. And we do see a double crystal composition coming out from Snow. That's a little bit interesting. I would have expected Jewel to go weapon with the crystal power Petal. But it does look like they want to just go for those huge explosions because they know they can catch people in gauntlets. They can make sure that whenever G2 lines up for a dive onto Petal, Jewel can just land the big red button and everyone will melt.
Right. Yeah, you have that lockdown, you have the kiting out of Petal, and then the big nukes that can come out of the Jewel. So we'll see if they can land these skills the way they want to. Dingo moves down, is able to hit shop and get back to lane rather efficiently. And it looks like we may have the same idea from Snow as they start to make a little bit of an invade into the jungle. Maybe just going to push G2 out as much as they can without really committing to a fight.
Right, and right now G2 is just trying to get as much farm as possible, but even then, I don't know if G2 actually scales better than Snow does. If they can catch Petal out, if they can kill Jewel, they'll be fine, but it's really an interesting... Oh, here we have
Well,
fight.
yep, Koshka's moved down from lane. This could be the advantage that they're looking for. Kent forced back. He's eating that damage, but now Rocket Leap for Jules there. Jewel will get that Koshka. That's what you're looking for. Now Quinn's on the run. Araxi, he's going to get some more blood. 2 kills. There you go.
And that's fantastic play coming out from Snow. Snow, you're really seeing how they're taking advantage of the competition. They have their Jewel, Rocket Leap. They have the Petal using her trampoline and just using her monies to bite at the heels of Koshka. Koshka was trying to dive in onto Petal, but there was not even a moment's chance that Koshka would have gotten that kill because running into the seeds, just taking damage constantly from onions, she just dropped so quickly.
Yeah, and we know Koshka's a pretty mobile hero, so to see that taken down, it just really shows like it's a deceptively mobile team coming out of Snow.
That being said, Koshka is going for that early aftershock, so she will be able to do quite a bit of damage, and it will be really important for G2 this game to get a good mana shield, get some crucibles, make sure they don't get stunned or caught in the gauntlet, and if they're able to just completely rotate around the map, around Snow, they will be able to take an advantage.
That they will, and about over a 1K gold lead here at 4 minutes 40 seconds for Team Snow. Rather impressive, and I think they're showing why so many teams have, I guess you could say, a little bit of fear that they might match up with them later on in this tournament.
All right, super important item coming out for Petal. This Frostmer has been picked up. However, Dingo is level 6. Will he jump on him? No, he will not. And look at me, just doing a little bit of kiting. These Munions are just going to be such nuisances for G2.
Yeah, Petal really comes alive. There's 2 things you look for on the Petal. So the Frostburn and then getting your ultimate, and she's got both right now. So this is a really scary position to be in if you're G2.
Right, and one of the huge differences in this game right now is Dark Potato, only level 4 compared to Araxi's level 6. This is a huge level disadvantage for G2, and right now they're on the run.
3v2 in the jungle. They have the advantage. The Petal has what she wants to fight, and they just push them out. They take this camp, and they'll move back. They're not looking to really risk anything, but they're just kind of punking them out of their jungle whenever they get the chance.
Right, and one of the big things is just the thing about Snow is they're able to take advantages and just roll with them. They found a little bit of a lead. They got a little bit of a gold lead. They pushed G2 out of their jungle early on, and they just took camp after camp after camp, and now you see they're on the gold.
Yeah, I mean, they come in, and I don't see really what G2 could have done early besides maybe just outplay them in that early fight that they had in the beginning of the game. But like you said, once they get that opening, they're just punishing it. And we'll see what G2 can come back into this game with.
Right. And G2, right now, they are running with the triple melee comp, so they are going to be poked out pretty heavily. Dark Potato on the run, goes out of the fray. Araxi just doing some pretty good damage with that Shatter Glass on Jewel. The big red button, though, is going to be the main point of that Jewel. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that big red button will be doing a lot of damage, and like you said, with Arden to hold these guys in place, if Gauntlet lands, and Petal to slow these guys down and kind of kite them around, it could be devastating if they have a bad team fight here through the mid game.
Right, and a 2,000 gold advantage coming out for the side of Team Snow. And right now, Rona is just sitting on 2 Weapon Blades and a Dragon Heart. That is not the best game for her right now.
Oh man, I think Quinn's pretty lucky that Rocket Leap just missed because Quinn was completely caught out there. And luckily, we'll make it back to lane. He's going to hang out with Dark Potato. Dark Potato going to go ahead and recall back to base, and maybe that'll mean Quinn hangs out in lane here just a little bit.
All right, and we see, look at me, 44 CS, 46 CS to his name, up against Dingo's 56, so doing pretty well, right, in terms of CS. However, Dark Potato up against Araxi is not even close. 61 to 38.
Yeah, that's a pretty big difference. And, I mean, it's just he hasn't had room to get into his jungle and actually farm. So, I mean, it's
to
really
be fair, Dingo is the laner, so...
Oh, okay, there you go.
All right, we got a team fight going on. Joel jumps in, rocket jump, Dark Potato goes down. Quinn is making his way out, and Dingo is on the run.
Yeah, Dingo on the run. Big red button comes through, cleans that up, and Snow looking maybe to get some objectives off the back of that fight. Just Quinn living through that engagement.
And this is looking pretty grim for G2 right now. They are down almost 4,000 gold at the 8-minute mark, and right now Snow is just not relenting on their pressure.
I mean, why would they? You get the early advantage. Like you said, they're going to scale pretty well, so just keep the pedal to the metal. And as long as they're really not taking like a kind of scary fight, you know, if they have the advantage, they're going to probably come out okay.
Right, and one of the big things about Look At Me is as long as he sets his seed field up before fights, there's nothing G2 can really do about it. They're going to just run into seed after seed after seed. They're going to try to jump on pedal, but there's absolutely no way he's going to get caught.
Right, they're going to get knocked back. There's going to be slows, plus the damage coming out. I mean, I'm really excited that we got to see Petal in this game. This is the first Petal of the tournament, right?
Yep, most certainly. And right now, the Frostburn, the Reflex block on Look At Me, it's just going to be so hard to lock him down. Araxi also picking up the Reflex block along with the Shatter Glass, so doing a good amount of damage. The Thunder Strikes won't hit quite as hard as if he was going a weapon, but just being able to end the game early, I think this will be completely fine. Man,
Team Snow are like bloodhounds. It feels like they know where G2 are on the map at all times. So it's just a nice movement down. The Dark Potato just goes to shop. Snow's there to make sure that if any movement happens that way, they're going to be picking up the kills. Nothing happens, but they're always in the right position.
Right, and this is like clockwork. As long as Snow keeps up this pace, I don't really think G2 can make a comeback. However, that being said, Rona, Koshka, pretty strong power picks, and if they get the chance, they can turn this game around.
Well, you know what's funny? When we're talking to these teams, and a lot of these teams, we ask them, what do you think are the top 2 heroes right now in the pool? They would say Rona and Koshka, right? Mm-hmm. You get them both on the same team, but you know, it's just maybe not the way that they intend for this to play out.
Most certainly, and it is, you know, the fairly meta composition coming out from side G2. Though they might have gone for Fortress, I don't think Fortress would have worked out quite as well this game. But it's really up to Snow to end this game pretty quickly, because if Dark Potato and Dingo get farmed and very tanky, the double crystal composition will come to hurt Snow.
Right, and that could be devastating. But right now, the advantage is going to Snow. Over 3K gold advantage at less than 10 minutes. Control of the gold mine. It feels they have the control of the map. At any point, they can move into jungle to just force these guys out. But it's more of just kind of like a posturing at this point.
Right. One big thing for the side of G2, though, is they do have the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. If they can get someone locked down, they can completely explode them. They have the double stun coming out from Catherine and Koshka, and as long as Rona can get close to a target, she can obliterate them. However, she probably does need that Startle Blade. She needs a little bit more damage right now, so mostly, as long as G2 can keep farming, I think they still have a fairly good shot at this game.
Yes, of course. They're a very talented team, showing just by making it to this tournament. So nobody is out, and a little bit of an engagement here in mid. Doesn't look like anyone really wants to commit to this fight. Dark Potato, Quinn just hanging around. Dingo going to move back to jungle, but Kent is scouting these guys out. Look at me, maybe he feels like he wants some blood. I feel like these guys are going to be going for the fight. Araxi's with them, and they've got the full move into the jungle here as a team. Will they be able to find anybody? Dingo is the only target maybe they could have found, but that's not going to be it.
Yep, Dark Potato just jumping out of the fray. No such luck, you know, won't be able to really pick up any more creep kills there. However, Petal just pushing the lane, not gonna be too worried, and Quinn just trying to steal as many monsters as possible in the jungle.
Yes, this beautiful Petal, look at me, just taking the lane while Araxi wasn't quite there to get those minions. And there's not much really Dark Potato can do if there's anybody behind either Araxi or Look at Me at that point.
Right, so it does look like Dark Potato is taking most of the farm in lane now, and Dingo has rotated to the jungle. But look at the farm difference. Araxi, 97. Look at me, 80. Dark Potato, 83. Pretty solid, but Dingo on only 77. It's a little bit rough. There's about like a 30 CS differential between these two teams.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just it comes from an early advantage that they never let go of. I mean, some teams would say, okay, well, we got this. Now let's just go back and just continue to do our own thing. But they've constantly, every time they can, they're forcing them just off these middle jungle camps, and they won't be getting those.
Right, and one of the big things about this game is Snow will scale better than G2 will late game. However, G2 does have the potential of, potentially getting a lot of shields, getting a good amount of damage, maybe a breaking point on Rona, and a little bit more damage on Takashi, and potentially taking the game. But it's going to take Snow a lot of mistakes to get G2 to that point.
Yeah, I think they probably want to go for this Petal if they can catch Petal out, and maybe they will here. It looks like they've locked on. Rocket League comes in.
Oh my.
Gauntlet goes down, the big red button from the back, and we will have 1 kill here, only 2. And now Quinn on the run. Are they going to get the ace here? I would say so. Rocket League forward. Araxi is locked on, and boom! There you go. There's the ace.
All right, fantastic play coming out from the side of Team Snow. I felt like G2 went a little bit too aggressive there. They took the engagement, which is, I guess, kind of necessary because they are a triple melee composition, which means that they can't defend their turrets too well, and they were just engaging before Petal and Jewel had a chance to wheel them down.
Yeah, and a nice objective play coming out of Team Snow. Right off the back of that fight, they come in, they clean up the turret, and immediately go into the jungle where they'll start taking these minions.
Right, and a bunch of light shields coming out from the side of Team G2. But right now, Dark Potato, level 10, Dingo, level 12. But Araxi and look at me, 12 and 11. So a little bit of advantage right there. And right now, the main difference is, look at Arden. Kentusi, he has the Crucible, he has the Fountain. Quinn has a Warhorn.
I mean, that's pretty tough, but I guess at least he's got the Warhorn, right? You get into these engagements, it's very important that they can reposition themselves at any moment. Dingo kind of front-lining for his team here. They're looking into mid. Kent hanging out with Araxi. I mean, there's a lot of minions built up here on the side of G2. Maybe they want to get a little damage on turret, but I mean, they've got to be careful here.
Yeah, and you see Petal chasing Catherine around a little bit. He's going to just walk out. The Frostburn causing a little pain right there. And look at me, just constantly advancing, not even scared, just, frontlining as Petal, no problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just this composition that they have, because at any point, if he gets in trouble, I guess Gauntlet's on cooldown right now, but, at any point, if Gauntlet's up, Petal can frontline, because she can just turn around, trampoline back, you got the Gauntlet to come in, slow these guys down if they're locked onto her, and they can just always have Jewel in the back doing the good damage.
Most certainly, and Jewel picking up the Eve of Hearts and the Infusion. She is going to be doing some pretty incredible damage along with that Broken Myth. It's a little bit scary for G2 right now.
Yeah, I'm actually not jealous of the position that G2 are in. If you're in this game right now, you got to keep a positive mindset, right? You can't let it get to you. You don't want to tilt at this point. And as I say, this a bit of an engagement. They thought maybe they found something. Gauntlet comes down. Rocket League forward. Big red button. Look at the damage coming out. Are you kidding me? Petal picking up that kill. And Quinn forced out to the west side again. He will be isolated, and maybe they looks like Look at Me is just going to show mercy as they go in to get more objectives.
Right, and to add insult to injury, the gold payout, immense gold payout, 300 gold each member of Snow. This is just not looking for
This is brutal. Dark Potato will jump out of the fray and towards his turrets. Wow, actually.
Araxi
picking up. I didn't expect that.
Eating too many turret shots. Overstay his welcome a little bit, but it's fine. They got one of the Bane turrets down. I don't really think they're too worried about it.
Well, like we said, Snow have an advantage, right? So the only way, Yummy Catnip Frenzy coming through. They've got Kent locked down, and this could be a kill coming off of that other kill in base. And there you go. This is their third kill of the game, but getting them back to back, and now they're going to go for the Kraken.
This is potentially a turn of the game.
This is a huge turning point.
They are 8k down, but if they can get 1 or 2 turrets, this is actually a pretty decent gold swing, and especially if they can drag the game out long enough, if they can get the sustain, if they can get the shield that they need to survive against both Jewel and Petal, I think G2 is in actually a fairly good position. I
mean, yeah, Snow they can't get overconfident at this point, right? They have to play their game. They need to take this Kraken down, but not overextend. And if they can do that, they're in a good position. But like you say, if there are any misplays, G2 can take advantage of that. They're meeting up here. This turret's taking good damage from the Kraken. Dingo's there. The whole team is ready to get their first turret down. And that will be it. Oh, the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. They're on to Look at Me. He wants the Petal. Big red button will fly out. And boom, Arden gets the kill onto Rona there. That's going to cancel off the push. They will get the Kraken as well. So you get the Kraken, but when you get one turret and a lot of gold going the way to Team Snow.
Right. So in overall, not completely worth it, but I think it's still good for G2. G2 gets a little bit of map pressure. They prevent Team Snow from taking a Kraken, which almost certainly would have ended the game. And they just hold on a little bit longer. They just have to keep stalling out, keep playing their game, and see if they can get it back into this later on.
Yeah, and when we watch these fights, it looks like Dingo, his target is Petal whenever he can do it, but the disengage is so great from Snow. I mean, besides them just getting a really good engagement, is there anything in these team fights that you think they should really look for to turn that in their tide?
G2's going to have to pull out a miracle, honestly. Like, right now, Dr. Potato doesn't have too much damage. He has a Serpent's Mask and is way towards a Sorrow Blade, but look at the infusions coming out of Team Snow. This is just going to be an absolutely overwhelming fight if they run into G2 right now.
Well, you see these double infusions coming out on these guys, and they pick them up together. It pretty much just says that they smell blood, right? They're ready to go take this game.
Yeah, most certainly. They're trying to push their advantage as hard as they can, and look at the advantage they have. 9,000 gold, 17 minutes in. This is the largest gold lead we've seen, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and this is probably why when we talked to a lot of these teams, they said Team Snow is one of the top teams in this tournament to be reckoned with.
Yeah, this is actually a fairly smart build by Araxi. He actually picked up a Broken Myth on top of another Piercing Shard, so getting as much piercing as possible, trying to just break through all the shield that G2 is building.
Yeah, well, no mercy from these guys. They are in base looking for the push. Last stand possibly from G2, unless they get a really good fight. Dark Potato up front taking a good bit of damage with the life steals there. Quinn taking damage from the Rocket Leap. Gauntlet goes down. Yummy Catnip Frenzy causing the stun. And whoa! Kasha getting the kill onto Jewel. And now who is on the run? Oh, look at me now! Petal gets the kill onto the Catherine and the turnaround back. Nice fight. Petal 2 kills. Now it's Koshka and Petal. And Koshka's going in. He's going to get look at me. It's the ace the other way.
Holy cow. I don't even know how that happened. Like, G2, they looked like they were in a horrible position, but the perfect stun came out onto the Jewel. The Araxi got stunned out of the big red button, and that completely changed the tide of that fight. That was a huge turning point for G2, and if they can take another fight just like that, they are definitely back in this game.
I mean, yeah, like you said, if they can take another fight like that, they are in the game, but that was an amazing fight.
Most certainly, and one of the big things right there is, I think the thing that G2 has to focus on, stun Araxi out of the big red button. If they can do that one thing, that is the turning point for every single fight from here on out. But the thing is, they have Look At Me. Look At Me is just constantly doing damage, and the heals coming out from Spontaneous Combustion along with the damage is completely overwhelming for G2. So if they get caught up in the Petal ult, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, that Petal ult, it's really deceptive. When you get into these fights, not only are you taking damage, but Petal is healing her allies as well. So it's kind of like a fountain, and you're taking massive damage. It's a very, it's a beautiful spell. I think a lot of people really underestimate it.
Most certainly, and the thing right here is Snow still has infusions. Araxi, double infused. Look At Me, his infusions are running out, but he's still got, he might just buy another set of them. He only has 500 gold right now, but if he chooses to, he can farm a little bit, go for a double infusion, and try pushing again. And right now, the Kraken is up. This is a huge point of the game. If Snow gets this, I think it's over.
Yeah, well, Kraken 2 is up. Their scout traps down around this area. The flares are out. And these teams know that this is a very important objective at this point. You see Team Snow moving through jungle, doing a little bit of scouting right here. G2 wants to come down from the lane. And maybe Snow is just kind of trying to bait them to come down as if G2 have a bit of anxiety that this might be happening. Dingo is in the front here, gonna have to be careful. Kent sees him, Petal's there. They start to get a bit of damage. Dingo's gonna go ahead and move towards the back, maybe get Quinn up in the front line. Dark Potato is there as well. And this is the fight. This could be the game if it goes wrong for G2. Gauntlet goes down, the Rocket Leap's there. Petal just deletes the Rona, and Dingo goes down as well. This is not the fight that G2 were looking for, and with that, Quinn is on the run. This will probably be Kraken off the backside, and then,
That's
GG.
game. That is game. Quinn's on the run, but honestly, what's Quinn going to do? Even if he makes back to base, his carries are down for 25 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't really think they can defend this last turret.
Yeah, so no need to even go for Kraken. With these guys down, they just move straight into base. They have minions there. And Quinn, we'll see if he can be a superstar hero here.
Nope. Ain't happening. 7 seconds on Dark Potato. This game is completely over. The Vayne is going to be shattered. And right now, 14-6, about a 10,000 gold lead for the side of Team Snow. They played fantastically this round.